Juliet, I am so happy that you only faked your death to fool your parents and that you didn't really drink the poison.
Oh, Romeo, I'm so glad you didn't really stab yourself. Let us flee together.
Yes, let us flee to Florida. Let us flee to Florida.
Why would we flee to Florida?
Cut! You idiot! You're fleeing to Florence, not Florida!
Yes, let us flee to Florence.
Take a 5-minute break.
Uncle Erwin, are you sure you want to give Romeo and Juliet a happy ending? Aren't you messing around with one of the world's greatest tragedies?
Look, Sarah, people don't go to the movies to see great tragedies. They go to see happy endings. I just give the people what they want. They're happy. I'm happy. The studio's happy. Everybody's happy.
But what about artistic integrity?
Integrity in smegrity. You can't eat artistic integrity.
But you're making it into a musical. Shakespeare definitely did not write it as a musical.
That's where you're wrong, honey bunch. Old Will had lots of music, lots of strolling players. I'm just doing the same thing. Look, Sarah, the public will fork over an extra nickel for a musical. So the studios make musicals. Take that movie from last year, The Jazz Singer. Do you know how much Jolson made for his studio with that one? Face it, silents are out, talkies are in. Melodramas, musicals, schmaltzy comedies, it's all okay, everything goes. It's the studio system. It's 1928. Hoover's got us feeling great. We've gone about as far as we can go. But hold on to your hat, Jake. Hollywood's got a new take, 'cause nothing is verboten anymore.
It's time to celebrate. Hooches flowing inebriate. The Bible Belt is half a world away. So check the rearview mirror. The end is getting nearer. Nothing turns ahead anymore. It's the studio way. Everything new is okay. From potatoes to potatoes, tomatoes to tomatoes, everything's kosher these days.
The market is surging, the banks are emerging, the gravy train is out of control.
You're on the trolley, bottoms up and be jolly, 'cause no one gives a hoot anymore.
If you need a new name to get a shot at your fame, don't think twice or worry the price, 'cause nothing's off limits these days.
The market is surging, the banks are all merging, the gravy train is out of control.
You're on the trolley, bottoms up and be jolly, no one gives a damn anymore. It's the studio way. Everything new is okay.
From sunset to sunrise, you won't bring the heat, guys.
'Cause nothing is verboten, I'm all for noting, nothing is verboten today.
What am I gonna do about Drake? Yeah, he's a sweet kid, but he can't remember his lines to save his life. And I was fine 2 years ago, but now that we're into talkies, if he can't remember his lines, he's out.
But he's so good looking, though.
Yeah, well, that's nice for him, but it's not enough. Out here, good looks are a dime a dozen. Remember Sylvia Sisson, MGM's hot property with the lisp? See where her looks got her this year? She's back waiting tables in Sheboygan.
What about hiring someone to work with him? He's made the studio a lot of money, and I'm sure if you could just help him remember his lines, he could still be great.
Yeah, and if pigs had wings, they could fly, and if my mother had wheels, she'd be a tractor. I'll think about it. But don't let yourself get sidetracked by that good-looking, sweet-talking distraction, kiddo. Remember, your mother only gave you 3 months out here to prove you could make it as a screenwriter, and you promised her that if you didn't make it, you'd go back to Brooklyn and you'd marry a nice Jewish boy and you'd give her nice Jewish grandchildren.
I remember. Clearly, you don't appreciate anything I'm trying to do here. Why not introduce me to some other directors?
Okay, let me think about it. I got a party coming up with some studio types, and I'll invite some directors also. By the way, do you need a lift home tonight?
No, Miriam's classes are getting out early today. She's gonna swing by and pick me up. We're gonna go shopping. She'll bring me home afterwards.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Sarah. How's it going in the world of happy endings today?
Hey, don't you forget those happy endings are paying for your shopping trips. Well, I'll see you both home later.
How's it going, Sarah? You don't look too happy.
I'm just worried that time is running out for me. If I don't get one of my scripts produced, I'm gonna have to go back to Brooklyn and marry one of those boys the matchmaker has found for me.
Don't you want to get married and have children?
Of course I want to get married, but I want to marry somebody that I love, who wants what I want, who enjoys doing what I enjoy. So I'm somebody who appreciates my writing. I don't want to marry somebody who's boring or uninteresting just because he's a good provider and knows how to daven.
Don't knock the good provider piece. I know a lot of women who would stop looking right there.
Well, I'm not one of those women. Listen, I know that my mother loves me terribly and she means well, but she comes from a poor shtetl in Eastern Europe where just getting enough to eat every day was a struggle. She comes from a world where men make all of the decisions and women just accept.
Come on, Sarah. I know a lot of Jewish women with minds of their own. Strong, confident women.
If they're lucky enough to have husbands and fathers who let them thrive. If not, they have to resort to trickery and wheedling just to get their way. I never want to be one of those women.
But Sarah, your mother's not like that. I've seen your parents together, and they love each other and decide things together.
They got lucky. I don't want to depend on luck to choose a good partner for myself. My mother doesn't understand. She married my father based on an arrangement between families, and she thinks that I should do the same.
Why does it have to be so hard to be a woman?
To be a Jewish woman.
To be a Jewish woman with a Jewish
A Jewish mother.
Oh, it's been the law of womanhood
Since Abram married Sarah,
a woman needs to find a man
in keeping with the Torah.
So listen up, gals, and listen up, pals, or soon you'll be disheartened. A ring on the hand, no Yiddish, a man, a sin that can't be pardoned.
Oh, daughters, your mothers will have no rest if the guy they choose can't pass her test. So be prepared to sing those wedding day blues.
Oh, shiksas can always find their misters without all Laban's ancient mitzvah sitting on your love life all the time.
expressway or the highway, always when you choose. From cradle to the grave, it is clearly written when it comes to twos. You gamble on the go, and you're only going to lose.
You're going to lose. A Shayna Maidel holds the faith together. The weakest link can break forever. That golden chain that stood the test of time. A Yiddish mother knows your weakness. Look in that mirror, you'll see her face is staring out and praying you pay your dues.
Yiddishkeit, your destiny, so pay your dues. It's mom's way or the highway, always when you choose. From cradle to the grave, it is clearly written when it comes to twos. You gamble on the go, you're only going to lose. You're going to lose.
Sarah, my daughter, I'm on my knees, so won't you come home and bring me, please, a Jewish son and Minch Mom's kosher man?
Oh no, mother, this life is mine. Love is more than a scripted line.
It's your life now to live and win or lose. The world will not soon fall apart if you marry from the heart.
Marry when I please and whom I choose.
Okay, let me go bring the car around and we'll go out and drown our sorrows in shopping.
Okay, boys, I got a big party coming up, and I'm counting on you to supply the booze.
I don't know, Levy. You already owe us a lot of dough, and we need to see some of that before we bring you any more product.
Oh, give me a break, will ya? Yeah, the last two pictures were bombs, but this next one is bound for glory. Give me a little more credit, and you'll get your money back in spades.
Okay. But you better pay up soon, or else.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Drake. How are you coming with your lines?
Oh, do you have to remind me? It's really hard. I just can't seem to get the hang of it.
Yeah. You know, I was talking to Uncle Irwin about maybe getting you a coach to help you with your lines. Do you want me to talk to him again?
That would be great. Thank you so much.
Oh, hi, Miriam. Are you enjoying the party?
As much as I can, being the invisible woman among all these Hollywood princess types.
Oh, don't be like that. They don't have a quarter of your personality.
Gee, now where have I heard that before? She has a great personality.
Hey, how would you like to earn a few extra dollars coaching Drake Stevens with his lines?
You mean Drake Stevens, the handsomest man in California? Wow, let me think about that one.
Okay, I'll set it up with your father.
Remember, Levy, we got you the booze. You gotta get us the money.
Yeah, sure. Just give me till the next picture comes out.
It had better be a success, or we're talking big trouble here, pal.
Hi. Are you Irwin's niece?
Yes, I'm Sarah. Who are you?
I'm one of his proteges, Patrick O'Connor. I'm still just starting out, really. Did Irwin say you were a writer?
Yes, I would love to write for the movies, but I can't get anyone to look at my stuff.
Let me take you out to dinner tomorrow and I'll take a look at your stuff.
Is that a double entendre?
Oh, no offense intended, I assure you. I meant I would look at your writing.
Okay. Well, let's make it a date. Are you enjoying the party?
It's great, but I haven't heard the kind of music the band is playing before. Do you know what it is?
Sure. It's a klezmer band. Uncle Erwin's second cousin's daughter's boyfriend. Here, let me show you how to dance to it. Well, thanks for bringing me here. I've read a lot about this place, but I've never been.
Well, it really is sort of the quintessential Hollywood experience, but don't expect it every time. It costs the earth.
You sound confident there'll be other times.
Well, you don't succeed in Hollywood without loads and loads of confidence, whether it's justified or not, so I'm practicing.
Have you read my screenplay?
I did. Let me ask you a few questions. I see that it's about gangsters and prostitutes. Have you ever actually met a gangster or a prostitute?
Well, no prostitutes, but Uncle Erwin uses Scarface and his pals to supply his booze.
Forget Scarface. He's not a real gangster. He's middle management. If it weren't for Prohibition, he'd be selling cars in Van Nuys. He just has to look tough. It's his boss. Big Al, that's the real gangster. But my point was that your plotting and your dialogue are stilted because you don't really know these people or these situations.
Oh, I've heard that before. Write about what you know. But all I've ever been in my life is a sheltered daughter in white gloves, a college student living at home. I want to do drama. Not much drama there.
There's drama all around you. Have you never known anyone who is deeply and profoundly unhappy? Unhappy to the point of desperation?
My friend Emily in college. She killed herself.
What's her story?
Well, she slept with her boyfriend, and after she got pregnant, the jerk not only refused to marry her, he claimed that he could get all of his friends to say that she was easy and that she had slept with them too.
What happened to the jerk?
What do you think happened to him? He graduated like the rest of us and got a job on Wall Street and married the boss's daughter. And Emily is dead.
And you don't think there's a story there?
About what? The Woman Scorned is as old as time, and I don't think I have anything to add to it.
What about how Emily's in the ground and the jerk's on Wall Street? Does he have nightmares? Is he remorseful? Maybe her family's out for revenge. Could there be a subplot about how only women seem to pay a price for loving too much? And what about babies born and abandoned by their parents? I mean, the possibilities are endless. Using the voices of people you know, not the voices of people whose lives are unfamiliar to you.
Okay. I guess I could give it a try.
Hi, Patrick. I didn't know Levy let you out of your cage at night.
Hi, Sue. Sue, please meet Sarah Goldstein. Sarah is Erwin's niece, and she'll be visiting us out here in La La Land for a few months. Sarah, meet Sue Bernstein, agent of the stars and star maker extraordinaire.
Oh, well. Thanks for the build-up, Slick. And pleased to meet you.
Sarah wants to write, and we were just discussing a possible screenplay about betrayed women and cheating boyfriends.
Ooh, now that sounds real commercial. Why not do something light and frothy, something that the studios will want to make? You know, something that will bring in real customers.
Well, I don't know, Sue. Why do some people like jazz and other people like marching bands? I'm just drawn to the dramatic, I guess. Why do you work as an agent?
If you want to know how agents live, listen up now, some tips I'll give. Let me tell you something about this life I lead. It's not a bed of roses, I'm sure you'll agree. For every actor that falls off the tracks, an agent like me will haul them back. Herding cats is easy compared to stars. They're living in a dream world straight from Mars. And when they've crashed and the going gets tough, I'm right there to smooth out the rough. Oh yes, it's straight talking Sue who can clean up the mess. Straight talking Sue who can muzzle the press. And if you need some ink or a good review, or just a friend, you can count on Sue. Sue is always there to share the load. Stars get so lonely and down with the blues, they call the lucky agent with their weary news. They don't worry about sleep or time. 2 a.m.'s no problem when you're in your prime. If the heat gets heavy, they land in jail. They call their weary agent who'll never fail. When they phone me fresh from the cell, all I want to do is send them straight to hell. But yes, it's straight talking Sue. Straight talking Sue. Straight talking Sue's right there working for you. And if you need a mom or a helping hand or just a friend who will understand, Sue is always there to share your dreams.
Thank you so much for being able to help me figure out my lines.
Sure. Can I get you anything to drink?
No, that's okay. Drinking just makes my problem worse.
Well, I can understand that, but I had been thinking more along the lines of coffee or a soda.
Well, in that case, coffee would be fine.
Gosh.
Ooh. Whoa, these are really good.
Well, my students like them.
Which grade do you teach?
Junior high.
Oh, I don't know if I could do that. All those hormones, all that craziness. I really hated school. I left as soon as I could.
Well, I like helping them to make sense of the craziness. Now, let's get to work. I understand the studio wants to do an adaptation of A Tale of Two Cities. Is that right?
Yes, apparently in the real story I have to die on the guillotine. But in this version, I get to escape.
Much better. Let me see if I can help you with your problem in learning the lines. Begin reading here.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Wait a minute. Tell me what you see when you look at this word.
I don't really like talking about it, but I have a real problem with reading. I'm just stupid, I guess. All my teachers told my parents I couldn't learn to read because I was stupid.
You're not stupid. Now, tell me what you see when you look at this word.
The letters wiggle all over the page. Sometimes they face in one direction, and sometimes they face the other way. I can never seem to make sense of what they should look like and what they should sound like.
Drake, you're not stupid. You have a reading problem.
Really? Can you fix it? My teachers never seemed to be able to do anything for me when I was in school.
Sure, I get 1 or 2 kids a year with this problem.
Really?
Stop saying really and let's get to work. We need to have a short-term solution and a long-term solution. In the short term, I'll coach you with your lines and help you to memorize them, both for the Romeo and Juliet as well as the Tale of Two Cities. In the long term, I'll help you figure out the tools you need to be able to read them yourself. But it's not going to happen by itself. You're going to have to work hard at this.
Really?
Stop that. We'll have to spend a lot of time here together if I'm going to help you memorize all these lines.
That's fine with me. Let's get started, Coach.
So, how's the writing going, Miss Authoress?
Kind of slow, to tell you the truth. I can't figure out how much of the truth to put in there and, well, how much to leave out.
Well, for what it's worth, in my experience, it's best to put in as much as you can, as long as you don't hurt any real people. You want to make it both specific and universal.
Ha! Easier said than done.
So, what would you like to eat? I hear the bagels and lox are pretty good.
Well, what if I wanted to have corned beef and cabbage?
Well, I'd say that in America, people should be able to choose whatever they prefer, Lovey.
You know, Patrick, it's not that simple. And don't call me Lovey. I don't know, Patrick. Maybe I'm having a hard time bringing my character to life because I never really told you the whole truth about Emily.
What do you mean?
Well, when she found out she was in trouble, she asked me to take her to a place downtown where she could get rid of it. You know what I mean?
I do.
Some of us pitched in the money, and Emily and I went downtown to an address that one of the girl's older sisters had given us.
What happened?
It was horrible. It was bloody and dirty, and the man was vile and rough looking. He snatched up the money and told us both of us would have to do it before he would... We would have to sleep with him before he would do it.
Did you do it?
No, I was too horrified and scared. I grabbed Emily and I dragged us both out of there.
Well, then what happened?
And then we were panicking and trying to decide what to do next when Emily decided that she just couldn't take it anymore and she killed herself. Patrick, I don't know, maybe I could have saved her if I hadn't been so cowardly and scared. Maybe I should have confronted him or threatened to call the police or something.
No. Never think that way, Makushla. She might have done herself in later anyway just because of shame and despair. It was the cheating bastard who lied and broke her heart. That's the guilty one. Not you. You need to take all of that anger and resentment and put it on paper.
But wouldn't I be exploiting Emily if I did that?
And then half the writers in the world would have to plead guilty. Taking emotion and putting it on a page is what they do. It's how they make sense of the world.
How do you always know just the right thing to say?
It's a gift. All we Irish have it.
Don't start that Celtic charm with me, mister. I've had all the blarney I can handle for now.
What if it wasn't just blarney? What if I told you I was starting to really care about you? Do you think that was just more blarney?
I would be flattered. But then I would have to tell you that it wouldn't work, even if even if I was starting to care for you as well.
Come away with me to my ancient emerald isle. There's a side to life you have missed. In the hills of Cork we can touch the bloody stone. We can seal our love with a kiss. Take a chance if you dare, my Celtic love to share, with the moon rising high in the night. Such a pleasure we will know if you let your spirit go to the uncharted lands beyond sight. It's now our time, the stars align, the devil moon is rising high. Let's drink the wine, our hearts entwined in blissful rhyme. It is fate that brought us to this night.
Oh, now, Patrick, you're a charmer, but I'm not your Celtic lass, who can love you for your winning Irish charm. You may not quite see all the harm soon to be if we kiss the Cloughnit planet mist a storm. Be it Irish law your pleasure, or fairy dust your treasure, come share a glass of wine with me. But you'll have to find another with no fretful Jewish mother. I can't share the Emerald Isle with thee. I just don't dare your love to share. Not when the moon is rising high. I must beware.
The devil's there in Irish hair.
Yes, a Jewish girl really must take care.
Oh, now Kusha, Sarah, with those haunting Jewish eyes, can't you bend the ancient rules just a bit? Can't you once forget? Let your Jewish mother fret. Let that dreadful Yiddish tether gently slip. Come and find your true romance. Cast the dice, take a chance. You only have one single life to lead. Say those words I long to hear. Won't you let me draw you near? Unlock my heart, you surely have the key.
It's not
It's
our
now
time.
time.
The stars
align. The devil moon
is rising
high. Let's drink the wine. Our hearts entwined in blissful rhyme. One little kiss, and then you will be mine.
I really like your new script. It's very compelling and much better than the first one.
Now all I need to find is a producer.
In the old days, we could have produced this ourselves on a shoestring, but now that studios have gotten into lateral integration and started going to Wall Street for their financing, big business guys have taken over all the decision making.
The scary thing is I think I almost understand that.
It means that we could produce this ourselves, but only if we come up with the money.
We?
Look, you know I'm crazy about you. The only way I could get you to stay out here was help you get your script produced so you wouldn't have to go back to Brooklyn. At least, not right away.
Patrick, you know that I care for you as well, but my mother would never allow me to be in a serious relationship with somebody who wasn't Jewish.
Your mother? Oh, your Uncle Erwin doesn't seem to care about that, and And I also point out that you're 23 years old now.
Erwin is the creative type. And the only reason that Uncle Erwin came out here was to escape his Orthodox Jewish relatives in Crown Heights. Believe me, my mother is nothing like him. And I could never go against her wishes, no matter how old I was.
Well, step one is to keep you out here so I can work on changing your mind. Why don't you come over here and meet my family? Mother! Mother, this is my friend, Sarah Goldstein. She just finished her first screenplay.
Oh, Mazel tov.
Oh, how do you know that phrase?
Sure, and wasn't me best friend in high school Ruth Goldfarb? She was the only Jewish girl in Jesus, Mary and Joseph High School.
Oh, well, how did she end up there?
Well, her parents wanted the best education for her, and that's where it was.
And how did you and your children end up out here?
When me dearest Sean died, Patrick had already moved out here and convinced the rest of us to move out here with him. He wove such a tale of the fairyland at the end of the rainbow that we couldn't resist him.
And this is my sister, Mary Agnes.
Oh, pleased to meet you. But how did you and Sean end up coming to America in the first place?
Sure. Didn't those murdering English bastards start murdering all the Irish just for wearing the green and trying to hold on to their little plots of land?
For God's sake, don't get her started on British infamy, the Great Famine, the Easter Rising, or especially the Black and Tans.
The Black and Tans?
Oh, Englishmen oppressing Irishmen. Don't ask.
Don't you let me hear you say a word against the rebels of the IRA. Didn't me own brother Patrick, may he rest in peace, die over there at the hands of those murdering English bastards?
She's conveniently forgetting that the sainted Patrick was pointing a gun at them at the time and engaged in an active revolt against Her Majesty's government.
It wasn't a legitimate government at all.
Mama, don't you think that now that we're in a new land, we should let go of the old hatreds? Hasn't America been good to the Irish after all?
Perhaps you're right. Isn't it grand to be the Irish in America? Isn't it grand to be a wearing of the green?
We can worship as we please, we can live our lives with ease.
And for politics there's always Tammany on the scene. Isn't it grand to be the Irish in America? Free to fail and flourish as we will.
We can make St. Patrick proud, we can air our thoughts out loud.
And for fun there's always Tammany. But when we look across the sea to Ireland, it's as sad and sad and sad as it can be. For the leprechauns have fled, our Gaelic tongue is dead, so America's the home for you and me.
Isn't it grand to be the Irish in America?
You know there's soon to be an Irish president.
We'll have Irish movie stars.
There'll be lots of Irish bars. Yes, America's the home for you and me. You see, America's the home for me.
Congratulations. I hear your Romeo and Juliet is going to be a big success.
With a big thanks to my coach for helping me learn my lines. At least now the lovers are fleeing to Florence and not to Florida.
Cookie?
Ooh, are they the chocolate ones?
Would I try to serve you any other kind?
I don't know how to thank you. You've been a great coach.
No thanks are necessary. My father is paying me, you know.
You've gone above and beyond, for sure.
Have you been using the flashcards and doing the exercises?
Do you take me for a slacker? I am a good Norwegian boy.
Norwegian? Really? I wouldn't have thought that Drake was a Norwegian name.
Oh, well, I'm really Nils Eriksson. The studio made me change it because they thought it was too ethnic. My family owns some duck farms up in Santa Barbara.
What made you take up acting?
I couldn't stand the smell of duck, frankly. You know, I think I would like it if you would call me Nils instead of Drake.
If that's what you want, I can certainly try. Let's see how you do with reading the opening lines now, Nils.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the spring
You can read!
Yes, ma'am! Well, maybe I'd better be off. There's another rehearsal tonight, and...
Fine. I'll see you next week then, Nils.
When I walk along the avenue, I don't want to walk with anyone else but you. When I count the stars in the sky, only want to see them in your eyes. And when I'm sad and lonely, for you I pine only, don't you see? So give me just one chance to make you smile. I don't want to have a famous movie star, only want to have you just the way you are. Don't need a beauty queen here on my arm, only want to feel your tender loving charm. And when I'm sad and lonely, for you I pine only, don't you see? So give me the chance to make you smile. For you I'll walk that extra mile. Give me the chance to prove that I love you.
Must I always be cast as brainy and smart? I'd rather play the cute and curvy dumb part. Must I always have the bloody expertise? I'd rather have the guys all tripping for me. Must I always be plain and unrefined? When it comes to looks, I was left behind. But I bet that if I were only pretty, I'd still be me. Must I always be the brain of every class? I'd rather be the flapper who's bold and brash. I have the answer to each question when asked, but this simple one has proven a task. Must I always be that shy and lonely gal, wallflower stuck without a pal? Every time I see you smile, I run and hide, all bound up and tied inside. I just want to be every guy's princess you see. Must I always be the brain of every class? I'd rather be the flapper who's bold and brash. I have the answer to each question when asked, but this simple one has proven a task. Must I always be that shy and lonely gal?
For you I pine only, don't you see?
Every time I see
I just want to make you smile. For you, I'll walk that extra mile. Give me the chance to prove that I love you. First star that I see tonight, I wish I wish I might find a way to prove that I love you.
I can't believe we haven't found anyone willing to produce my script. My 3 months are almost up and I'm out of cash. My mother will never agree to subsidize this experiment any longer. I'm gonna have to go back to New York and marry one of those nice Jewish boys that I haven't even met yet.
Don't give up hope yet. Some unlikely angel might still turn up.
Now, what about your Uncle Irwin? Didn't Romeo and Juliet make a lot of money once that pretty boy Drake finally learned his lines?
Yes, but he still owes a fair amount of money to those bootleggers, Scarface and Schlecky, for the last couple of parties, and he has to pay them off first.
I'll ask him anyway. It couldn't hurt.
Who the heck was that?
Oh, that was Lila Marsh and her pals. Try not to catch their eyes. They're all gossip columnists from rags all over town. Oh, never tell them a thing you don't want to see in the newspaper.
Even if you don't tell them something, they'll make anything up.
Are they allowed to do that?
Sure. We have freedom of the press in this country. I would just like freedom from the press. Once in a while, just once in a while. Gossip to them is like a blood sport. We're in the Colosseum. They're the lions. We're the sacrifice. They're there for the delectation of the masses.
Gee, Sue, why don't you tell us how you really feel?
In Hollywood, life is an open book. To gain your fame, you must find your hook. But like sharks in the water, seeking flesh for the slaughter, the tabloids will make you bleed.
With power, sex, and money all in the game, in Hollywood, there's a price for your fame. Like hungry jackals on the hunt for clues, we will ink all your secrets in the tabloid news.
The hustler, the hipster, the weak and the bold, the razzle will sizzle when your news is told. Like angry bloodhounds on the scent for clues, there will be ink on your secrets when we tell your news.
From sordid love nests in the black of night to hard-earned treasures that have taken flight, just like a bloody toga at the kill, there'll be ink on your secrets when the tabloids spill.
The tabloids
will make
you
bleed.
Let's start with Act 2, Scene 3. You know I love you, Lucy. Please say you will be my wife.
I could love you, Monsieur Carton, were I not already promised to Monsieur Darnay, who is my father's choice for me.
Even though you go to wed another, know that I will embrace any sacrifice for you and those dear to you.
Well, I think we've got these lines down now. You know, Drake, we haven't gotten together in a while. Let's finish up here and grab a few drinks, and then finish up at my place. My roommate will be gone for the night.
You know, Rosa, you're a beautiful woman, and I've certainly enjoyed being with you in the past, but I'm sort of interested in somebody else right now, and I don't think she'd appreciate my spending time with you the way I used to.
Really? What's she got that I haven't?
Rosa, it's not a question of that. It's just that I'm interested in her right now, and I really don't want to be carrying on an affair with anybody else. I'm not that kind of guy.
Really? You were certainly that type of guy a few months ago.
Oh, please don't be mad, Rosa. You know, we never made any commitments, and we're each just out to have a good time. Right?
Well, I can't say I've ever been turned down before. Huh. Who needs that two-bit actor anyway? Actors are nothing but trouble. They're more interested in themselves than they are in anybody else. Plus, they never have any money and they're always wanting to go to cheap dives. I'm gonna go out and find me a rich banker who knows how to treat a girl. I used to think that love had come with every guy who gave me something more than just a passing one-night stand. But now I know what love's about, the things that I can't live without, stocks and bonds and money in the bank. So give me a banker with all his faults, he'll stash some cash inside my vault. That's the golden hand I long to hold. Mr. Banker, if you please, Mr. Banker, I'm on my knees. Your bottom line just sets my heart on fire. Mr. Banker, you're my honey. Ticker my tape and pass me the money. It's time to get our common shares aligned. A banker knows just how to win. In his good book it is no sin to pick a pretty pocket, rich or poor. Come rain or shine, he's doing fine. Come thick or thin, he's in his prime. Share the wealth, come knocking at my door. So give me a banker with all his faults, and stash some cash inside my vault. That's the golden hand I long to hold. Mr. Banker, have no fear. Mr. Banker, I'm right here. Don't sell me short, let's finalize this deal. Mr. Banker, you're a trickster, but for love or money you can count me in, sir. The time is right to lay my burden down. Mr. Banker, you're my boo. Tickle my robust portfolio. Fill my future with your fiscal target. You're a raging bull and I'm in the market. So Mr. Banker, be my candy man.
Erwin, come on. You know Sarah's script is really good. Couldn't you see a way clear to finance at least some of it?
Well, I do have a bit of the money left that we made from Romeo and Juliet, but I owe most of that to Big Al and his gang.
What's more important? Keeping your niece happy or keeping your kneecaps?
I'll think about it.
I was hoping to find Levy here. Now that his last picture hit it big, he should be able to pay us off.
What will you pay me if I let you in on a little secret about how likely it is that Erwin Levy will pay you what he owes you?
We ain't paying you nothing. But We won't kill you neither, if you tell us what you know. Let's have it.
Okay. I overheard Erwin Levy tell Patrick O'Connor that he might use the money that he owes you to finance the production of his precious niece's screenplay.
Let's find him, now!
Thanks for coming out to lunch with us girls.
Oh, well, it's been many years since I've called myself a girl, but I appreciate the invite. You wouldn't have any ulterior motive, would you?
Well, I had wanted to ask for your advice about how to get my script produced, but I would have invited you out to lunch anyways, just for the pleasure of your company.
Uh-huh. And how is your mother, dear?
Very well, thanks. We finally got her to stop selling Irish lottery tickets for the rebels.
But Patrick told me that was probably only because the Silver Lake postmaster had stopped by to tell her that he had noticed that she was receiving the tickets in the U.S. mail and that it was a federal offense to sell them.
So, she told him she would stop because she never wanted to do anything illegal. But then she spoiled it all by offering him an Irish whiskey on his way out. She still has a bit of a problem grasping what's legal in this country and what's not.
Oh, don't worry. Any number of people here in Hollywood have the exact same problem.
Well, I hope she stays out of trouble. He didn't threaten to arrest her, did he?
Arrest her? Are you kidding? His last name's McGillicuddy, and they're going out next week.
Oh, oh dear. Sarah, has Patrick talked to Erwin about giving you money to have your script produced?
Yes, but Erwin said he would think about it, but he still owes a fair amount of money to those bootleggers, Scarface and Schlecky, for the last couple of parties, and he has to pay them back first.
Oh. Gosh, let Erwin take care of himself. Meanwhile, how are you doing, dear? Are you working? Did you find a job?
I'm working behind the counter at Groman's Egyptian Theater, and I've also got some part-time on the switchboard at the Knickerbocker.
Excellent. It's so important for a woman to take care of herself. And, gosh. Wait a minute. I thought that you told me at Erwin's party you spoke to that Saul Goodman, and you said he might be interested in producing your script.
Let's just say that it became very clear that the price for his production for my script would have been too high.
Oh, I've heard that about him.
Oh, he's not the only one, by the way. Why is it that some men seem to think that they're entitled to anything they want just by asking? Is there something in the air out here?
Oh, no. It's, I hate to put this to you, and God forbid I should sound cynical. But, men in Hollywood are not that different from men anywhere else. It's just you didn't have to deal with it in Brooklyn where you were protected by your parents.
Well, I don't like it. It's not what I expected when I came out here. I mean, I knew it would be tough to break into the business and see if I could make it or break it on my own, but I thought I would be able to do that without having to throw my looks into it.
You're a writer. Can you say naive?
Well, why don't you all order? I'm going to step outside for a moment.
It's not to smoke one of them awful cigarettes, is it?
Don't worry. 9 out of 10 doctors recommend smoking for nerves. And have I got nerves?
Hi, Erwin. How's the search for the next best thing going?
Hello, Sue. You're here to try to convince me to give your latest acquisition a chance?
Well, in a way, but it's really one of your acquisitions, not mine.
What are you talking about?
I came over here to convince you to lend Sarah the money to produce her script.
You do understand that I owe most of that money to Big Al and his gang? And if I don't pay it back, it could have serious negative consequences for my health.
Oh, give me a break. You can talk them around and throw a few starlets in their direction.
What do you take me for?
A Hollywood producer.
Ouch.
Look, Erwin, kids need a break today. It's so hard getting started.
Yeah, why should I give them a break? They're young. They got vigor, enthusiasm. Their whole lives ahead of them.
But who's got the gelt? We all Takakas.
Which we gained by hard work. Unless you care to dispute that.
Oh. Remind me again, where did you get your first job?
Okay. I got it through family connections on my mother's side. The cousins from Minsk.
Come on, Erwin, lighten up. Use all that acquired life experience to tell you that helping Patrick and Sarah would be the right thing to do.
You know, my sister is never, ever, ever gonna accept a goy into the family.
Let them cross that bridge when they get to it. You know, right now they're just concentrating on getting Sarah's script produced so that she can stay here.
Look, I'm going bald. Hell, I am bald.
You are.
I got arthritis, and I'm feeling really, really mean. And you want me to give a break to two people with all the world ahead of them.
Yeah. Now you listen to me, pal. Sarah's such an awesome gal. It's time to get down off your mighty perch. She's at the bitter end, and it's time to bless and bend. Don't leave your sister's daughter in a lurch. You're a silly, foolish ass sitting on your piles of cash. Loosen up the purse strings now and then. Fund the kid instead, your money's no good when you're dead. The time has come, that's all I've got to say. To make it in this town, you've got to get it down. Takes more than a simple how do you do.
Now you listen to me, Sue. I don't need a class from you on how to run my business or my life. You know I've had to work like hell just to make my pictures sell. And at times the going has been really tough. Kids that land in town today need to learn there's hell to pay if they want the fun and games amidst the rough. So give me a bloody break. I've had as much as I can take. Their time will come, that's all I have to say. To make it in this town, you've got to get it down. It takes more than a simple how'd you do.
Oh, the young may have it made with their talent on parade. They're charming and their looks are something fine. But we oldsters hold the reins. We don't want to share our gains. We always make them toe the bloody line. So loosen up your purse. Let those gangsters swear and curse. You'll plan to pay them back another day. Your Sarah needs a break. It's so much more than she can take. So ante up, that's all I've got to say. To make it in this town, you've got to get it down. Takes more than a simple how do you do.
You know I love my niece to death, so you might just save your breath or tell me how to get out of this bind. If I give my cash to her, I can't pay my debt, no sir, and that dilemma is always on my mind. Oh, it's not clear-cut and fine when those crooks want my behind, so cut this agent ham a little slack. I fund my niece instead. Those crooks will surely want my head. It's sure to come, that's all I have to say. To make it in this town, you've got to get it down. It takes more than a simple how'd you do. To make it in this town, you've got to get it down. Let's try to help our Sarah get there too.
Well, that's it. I can't tell you how much it means to me that you were willing to help me out.
Why wouldn't I want to help you out? You're a really nice person.
Oh, really?
Stop that, or no more chocolate cookies for you.
Miriam, I think I would like to be more to you than a student. Do you think you might be willing to go out with a Norwegian farm boy who didn't realize what he was looking for until he met you?
Nils, you know we've been working very closely here together for a while now. Do you think you might be confusing proximity with something else?
Stop insulting the two of us. I know what I feel for you. The question is, what do you feel for me?
Nils, not only are you a few years younger than me, but you're a ridiculously handsome, charismatic movie star, and I'm not.
Miriam, you're beautiful to me. See, I've dated my fair share of Hollywood glamour girls, but none of them had your heart, your lovely and generous wit, your warmth. You care about me, Nils, not me, Drake. And you've made me care for you. Now, let me ask you one more time. Do you feel anything at all for me or not?
Of course I've fallen in love with you, Nils. No woman could help it. And I love you, the transplanted Norwegian farm boy, not your ridiculous stage image. But are you sure about this?
Fortunately, since I have had an excellent reading coach, I can use a lot of new words like, oh, hell yes!
Really?
Really.
Well, the words might be out of sync and rhyme, but we'll sing our song in our own sweet time because we are the impossible team.
The Hollywood couple may not be, but that's no trouble for you and me, 'cause you know we share that impossible dream. If storm clouds start to threaten and Noah's rain does fall, we'll launch our ark together and sail through it all. The wind may bluster and rock our boat, but after the gale we'll be afloat because we are the impossible team. We're made for each other and not for others. In our own world we'll do our druthers because we are an exceptional team.
Perhaps we're like the yin and yin, and light and shadow, your love I'll win, 'cause you know we share the impossible dream.
The market may turn manic and fortunes start to fall, but our hearts won't be panicked. We'll weather through it all. Through thick and thin we'll stick together, singing as one like birds of a feather, because we are an exceptional team.
And when we're old and weary and sight is growing dim,
I'll light your every candle
and cater every whim, and
when we arrive at the pearly gates, together we'll enter our heaven can wait. We'll still be our impossible team.
Where's our money, boss? You've been avoiding us.
I'll have it for you soon.
So, you didn't invest in your niece's screenplay?
Who told you about that?
Never mind who told us. Where's the money?
Okay, I did give it to Sarah and Patrick.
You a crazy person. When Big Al gets back from Chicago, he's gonna make us hurt you bad.
Did neither of you ever do anything foolish for the sake of your families?
Not when Big Al was around.
Say, didn't you say Big Al was in Chicago?
Yeah, he's with, a meeting over there with certain like-minded individuals.
Well, he's not meeting anybody, anywhere, anytime, anymore. There was a big massacre in Chicago and 14 gangsters were shot, machine gunned all up against the wall on Valentine's Day. They're calling it the Valentine's Day Massacre. Big Al was one of them.
Let me see that paper. It's true.
Hey, this means you don't have to rough up Irwin anymore. And you can get into another line of business. You know, prohibition is almost over, and anyway, they're going to overturn it soon.
But what could we do?
Well, have you thought about going into showbiz? With that punum, you'd be a natural.
What are you talking about? I ain't no pretty boy.
No, that's just what I mean. Pretty boys are a dime a dozen in this town. But great villains, oh man, they don't come along very often. There's always a need for a villain, no matter the genre or theme.
There's always a place for a villain, despicably evil and mean. So the vampires, ghouls, and werewolves need not go on the door.
There's always a need for a villain, you say. You'll surely find a rule.
Imagine a world without Iago. Othello's a grouchy old bore, and Richard III, without one evil word, can't chill us right down to the core.
If Jack the Bold Ripper weren't sneaking round jolly old London by night, would Scotland Yard coppers in elegant tuppers be needed to ward off the fright?
There's always a need for a villain, no matter the genre or theme.
There's always a place for a villain, deliciously evil and mean.
So Bela Lugosi and cohorts need not go on the door.
There's always a need for a villain, you say. You'll surely find a role.
So you and me and Mother need not go on the door.
There's always a place for a villain, you see. I'll surely find a role.
So what do you think?
I think I'll give it a try.
What about you, Schlecky? Want to be an actor?
No. I want to direct.
What a scintillating gathering!
Irwin always throws the best parties.
Where does he get the wherewithal?
Where did he get the alcohol?
Ooh, ice cream. Want to get a scoop?
I always get the scoop.
Dad, Nils and I have something to discuss with you.
I thought you might.
Mr. Levy, I love your daughter, and I would like to marry her.
Fine.
I won't give him up, Daddy. I finally found a man who really loves me. He loves everything about me, even my thighs in a bathing suit, and I am not walking away. Wait, what did you say?
I said fine. He's a nice young fella. He can support you. He seems to love you. You love him. What's to object?
You know he's not Jewish, right?
I can accept that as long as you're happy. And your mother would have felt the same way. But have you thought about how this might work out?
How do you feel about Hanukkah bushes?
Well, I didn't want him anyway. I'm gonna go out and find that banker and get him to invest my money in the stock market. It's a new era where anybody and everybody can make money in the market. It's already 1929. What can go wrong?
Well, we got the funding to produce my script, so I can stay out here a little longer. There's just still the problem of our different religions. My mother's not nearly as understanding as Uncle Irwin.
I know. I would even think about converting for you, since I'm not really religious at all, but I wouldn't want to hurt my own mother. Plus, I'm not sure a converted Jew would satisfy your mom.
Well, when can I expect you two to be tying the knot?
Give it a rest, Mom. You know I can't marry a Jew, and Sarah can't marry a non-Jew.
And is that all that's stopping you?
Sure. You know I love Sarah.
Son, there's something I have to tell you. I was never going to tell you this, but now I think I have to. You remember me telling you about me seeing to Brother Patrick? The one you were named after?
Sure.
And you remember me telling you about me best friend Ruth Goldfarb?
Yeah?
Ah, sweet Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Don't make me say it. You read scripts for a living and you can't see where this is going?
What are you saying?
I'm saying that you are the son of me heart, but not the son of me body. Patrick and Ruth loved each other, and they were planning on getting married when he got back from Ireland, but he never made it back. And when she found out she was pregnant, she didn't know what to do. So she told her parents she was enrolled in university and was coming to live with me for a while so she'd be closer to school. She still hadn't decided what to do when she went into labor a month early. She gave birth to you. But there was blood. So much blood. The doctors tried to save her, but they couldn't. And with her dying breath, she asked me to take you and raise you as me own. I couldn't say no. So Sean agreed. And we were married soon after. And your sister herself came soon after that.
Why are you telling me this now?
Oh, I think Sarah can explain it to you better than I can. Sarah?
Patrick, it's our tradition. If your birth mother is Jewish, then you could be Jewish if you wanted.
I'm Jewish.
You're Jewish. And we could get married.
I'm Jewish and we... I'm Jewish and we can get married!
Well, thank you for telling us this. I'm sure it was really difficult.
Are you angry with me, son?
Oh, Mama. I never knew Ruth, so I can't miss her, but just as I am the son of your heart, you are the mother of mine.
Oh, son, I love you so much.
So, are you ready to tell your mom that you're staying out here, but you found a nice Jewish boy to marry anyway?
Yes, I'll send her a telegram tomorrow. It will read, Dearest Ema, stop. I met the love of my life. Stop. A nice Jewish boy. Stop. We'll be home for Rosh Hashanah. Stop. It's all okay.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
It's time to celebrate.
Boy and girl still gravitate.
Old and new still find a way to meet.
So hold on to your hat, Gabe.
The world may yet be flat, babe.
'Cause nothing is forgotten today.
It's the studio way.
Everything new is okay.
Potatoes to potatoes, tomatoes to tomatoes.
Everything is kosher today.
The market is surging, the banks are all merging, the gravy train is out of control.
You'll run the trolley bottoms up and be jolly, 'cause no one gives a damn anymore.
So it's the studio way. Everything new is okay.
From sunset to sunrise, you won't bring the heat gas.
'Cause nothing is forgotten. I'm Wolfen Milton. Nothing is forgotten today.